Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 2, Episode 37. See, every time, right, I think every time I've done this, I've always stuttered that intro because I still get it wrong. But it's another weird one because last time it was no Ben. Now it's no Maz, but it's myself and Ben today, mate. What a game to talk about, by the way. But how have you been this weekend?
Extremely hungover. We had my mum's 60th party here last night in this very house till like half three. To be fair to the old people, they absolutely smashed it. Like doing like the Sambuca shots, like going Zulu boy. Honestly, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my story. It fucking went off.
It looks a bit mad for a 60th birthday party, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was.
You'd expect it for like a 25th or something, but not.
Yeah,
not
we had like steam machine, UV lights, lasers, and all that jazz. It was nuts. How was that? And then obviously beating Wolves was class as well. This probably would be a lot harder if we were on the back of an L, that's for sure. But yeah, how was your weekend, mate? You look like you enjoyed the game.
Oh, mate, what game! Like that is genuinely one of the best away games I've done. Like
really,
in a long time, at least that I can think of in recent memory. I mean, I said that about Arsenal. I was like, Arsenal was top class, but Wolves, just everything was brilliant. You know how we've been saying for so long, we need to just be convincing and look like we really dominate and win the game comfortably. That is everything we did. We didn't even look like conceding. We didn't really look like... I was never in a moment in that game like worried. Like I wasn't like, oh, we're going to throw this away at all. I was just like...
Yeah, because we started so strong as well, and I was really surprised. I was like, oh, we could actually do this, actually.
Mate, I want to just say, keep emphasising it. I don't care how much I've said it. The Moises Caicedo effect is real, mate. He is next level. He's so good, like actually so good. I don't want to hype him up too much before, like obviously you never know. But I haven't seen a midfielder come in like this in a Brighton team and just look so dominant in every single game he's played. He's made everyone play better around him. So excited to watch, and obviously wins the ball back so much. But Ben, what's your take on Moises? What a player he's been?
Oh, mate, we are so lucky. How did we miss? How did we send him on loan to like bottom of the league in Belgium?
Yeah, I know.
Before playing him in the first team, I get that maybe we had a lot more people in front of him. Obviously, Moda because he's got injured. Alzate's kind of not getting any game time now, and he's because Caicedo's come in, so that's kind of helped him. But how did we not recognise the talent straight away? Or maybe they did and thought maybe he's not ready yet. Maybe it is perfect timing, and he's just come in at a great time because Mwepu's in and Bissouma's in. He's with two unbelievable midfielders at the moment. But yeah, we've just got so lucky, and Bissouma's replacement is literally on our lap.
Yeah, he's literally there. Like we haven't got to be like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think maybe we'll bring in someone or look at someone else just to maybe cover it a bit because I think Caicedo.
I don't know if we need to. Like, imagine if we get Moda back. We've still got like mad depth there. But I guess it's risky. It's also risky. Like this could just be really, really good form for Caicedo, and he might like fall off a bit. Hopefully not. I don't think it is. I genuinely think it's the real deal. I genuinely really do. He is class.
Does give like quality, doesn't he? He doesn't look like it's not like he's just sort of beating players and running a lot. He's more classy. You know what I mean? He looks good. Don't get me wrong. He's still raw. He's still at the beginning of his career. You can sort of tell. He has a few moments where he sort of gives the ball away, and you think, oh my God, okay, that's a bit of inexperience. But most of the time, he's just so dominant. And there was a little moment he had. I can't remember who it was against. 22, I think it was for Wolves. And I don't know who 22 is. And he was sort of being chased down by him, and Ruben Neves was on him as well. He just back heels it back to Trossard.
That was so good.
It was so good. He needed a foul as well, which maybe was a bit of a dive, but we'll let him on. But
the balls to do that. The balls.
Yeah, and Molineux as well. You know, you're not just some sort of small ground. Molineux's quite a big ground. I was quite surprised actually as to how tall the stands were because I've not been to Molineux before. I was quite surprised how big the ground actually was. But
that reminds me. I know some guy on Facebook commented saying that when I was talking about the whole gerbil hamster thing, he said what a load of crap. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. I was waffling, but it was true. And then you saw the picture on Twitter. Did you see it? Did you see the cages?
No, I didn't see it.
I suppose that was just before lockdown, so that would have been like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That was very strange.
Straight after, and I saw a lot of
nice.
That recognised the word.
Like, come on, love that.
But no, actually, we need to shout out a couple because I always forget them.
Go on,
There was one girl that sat next to me the whole game. She's a little girl. She must be about 13, 14.
Chloe.
And not funny. So she was sat next to me, right, and I don't know who was she. Probably with her dad or whatever. Anyway, didn't really say anything. She commented on the Talk Seagulls post that I put on, and she said, "Massive Seagulls Social fan. Really happy to
That's
sit
nice.
next to you or something like that. Not that I actually spoke or interacted with her at all, but
Yeah.
shout out to Tilly, I think it was Tilly. Mate,
Shout
what
out
legend.
Tilly.
Seagulls Social
Hero.
band everywhere. Like it's great. We go to these games
Oh,
and you get recognised. It's class.
at my local, there's a
Really?
Seagull, the new guy that works there, and he was like, "You're from Seagulls Social, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes." At my local, get in there. I was so
brilliant.
happy. This was Friday night. Yeah, absolutely buzzing. So wait, we're spreading the word of Seagulls Social.
It's
this
good.
term.
No, like we're
Yeah.
actually, it's good. And I'll tell you what, it's good to have that good reputation at the minute because obviously the stocks went down. If you bought in the dip, I would have recommended Sanchez era. But now we're back up again.
Brett Mendoza mentioned that on Twitter. He goes, "It's mad to think that we went 11 games without a win and then lost 6 in a row, and yet we're still like 9th in the table."
Yeah,
isn't that is weird? Imagine if we didn't like have those dips, and we would be so much higher.
It's mad
and
because
people are talking about Europe, Ryan. So again, I know it's a lot because we have to rely on. I don't know who tweeted it, so I'm sorry for this, but
I'm gonna lie.
it was like Wolves. It was Wolves to lose against Chelsea, City, get a point against Norwich, and lose to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Then West Ham need to lose their remaining 4, which is Arsenal, Norwich away, Man City, and Brighton. And then apparently we can achieve like Europa Conference or something like that.
The Norwich thing's a bit of an L because if it wasn't Norwich, I'd be like, you know what, that's actually doable. It's not
actually possible.
Yeah. But yeah, probably not. I mean, we've got to play United, Leeds, West Ham, and who am I missing? I'm missing someone in that. Is it 3 games?
No, we've got 3 games left, mate. Yeah,
3 games. Right. So yeah, Man United obviously next up. We'll talk about that in a bit. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't think it's probably going to happen, but we'll see. But no, I want to just talk about, to be honest, the rest of the team. I thought Mark Cucurella, brilliant.
Oh my God.
So good. At some point, he was playing up front as well. Did you see that?
All over the park, wasn't he?
Yeah.
All over the park. Like, Jesus Christ. He was actually so good. One of the best Premier League performances we've seen in a Brighton shirt, or I think just in a Brighton shirt in general ever. So bloody good.
I mean, it's because we beat Wolves as well. It wasn't like we beat, when we beat Watford quite convincingly 2-0.
Yeah.
Watford didn't really offer much, whereas Wolves, has been one of the better teams in the league this season. Everyone had been talking about them, even getting Champions League at one point. Now they're sort of scrapping down for 7th, and they've really fallen. I don't know what happened to them.
We've taken them we've taken them on the beach as well. They were actually pushing for Europe, weren't they? But I think. Yeah, well, they're definitely not getting Europe now. That's for sure. No, I don't know. I think they were quite badly out of form. I didn't realise that before going into the game. They'd lost like 4 of their last 5 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. And don't get me wrong, we were good, but they were also pony. Like they were awful.
But did we make them?
It was fun to see.
I mean, that's what's
we did. Yeah, it was a mixture of both. I think.
Yeah, we've got a lot of quality in that 11 now. Like attack-wise, I still sometimes question, and I think. Even though we won 3-0, it sounds crazy. At some point, you do wonder what would have happened if we did have,
decision making. Sometimes is a bit
decision making. Trossard, to be fair, is very, very good at that. Probably the only one that is. I was
gonna single him out. I was gonna say he sometimes holds onto the ball too long. It's like shoot, and then he just like cuts back in, tries to cut back in again. You're thinking, he should just short or pass straight away. He does hold onto the ball a bit too long sometimes, but don't get me wrong, he scored a goal. He scored in his last 3 away games, so. Who am I to say that he's doing something wrong?
But on attackers, though, while I'm talking about good performances, Danny Welbeck, I want to pick out again. He was really good. And it's funny because we spoke about this last season, pretty much around the same time, around that April, May. He went on a complete run, and it was like, Welbeck has to sign a new contract because he had a couple of months of just scoring goals. And it seems like he's back, he hasn't scored goals, but he's back on that sort of run of, end of the season. It's almost like he gets injured for half the season, comes back at the end of it, and then has his best moments. But would you give Danny a new contract?
100%, yeah. I still... Yeah, I definitely would. I'm not too confident that we will get another striker in. I know we keep saying it, and we want Nketiah in, for example, on a free, because that would be unbelievable. But realistically, I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, I doubt we will. So if we've got Mope, he's not going to be leaving. If he does, I'll be very shocked. Undav coming in, I'm sure that he will be getting a lot of game time next season. And then you've got Welbeck. I doubt Connolly's going to come back. And Zakiri, you could say, I don't think I think he might do another loan. He's ready yet.
And Homer as well. It depends on how they look at them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we'll see. Seamer's not. I doubt he'll get game time. He needs to go have another loan because he's been injured a lot most of the season. So I think Welbeck has to sign a new contract, as he's one of our best striking options at the moment. I think he is. Well, he's our best striker at the moment. There's no doubt about that. Neil's not the most confident at the moment.
No.
Yeah, Welbeck's our best striker, which is crazy to think. Like,
Yeah.
the opinion around Welbeck like 3 seasons ago when he was like on the way out when he was leaving Watford, you think his career's over.
Yeah.
And I see him in the Brighton shirt. I'm like, how have we got Welbeck, and how is he actually playing well? It's a credit to Potter that he's got Welbeck playing really well.
That's what I was going to say. He looks like he's enjoying himself, and I think I said it a couple of weeks ago as well. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He seems like he gives a little bit more. His quality's there to see, right? I mean, you can talk what you want about his injuries, but it's so clear to see how good he is, and that he is a cut above with some of his passes and some of his little moments that he has. I mean, you don't really, you can just tell that someone's better than the rest.
The level. I was literally just about to say it. You could some things he does in the game that we don't ever see in as a Brighton striker or a Brighton player. You think, yeah, you've been at the top. He scored I say it every time we talk about it, but he scored at the Bernabeu, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
He's been at the top.
Obviously a good player. He's been coached under Alex Ferguson. He was kept by Alex Ferguson as well around that Man United squad for a long time. It was only because...
Arsene Wenger as well.
Wenger, yeah, he's played with the best. And it's only because he's, been so injury prone his career is the reason he's probably here. I'd imagine he'd still be in that England squad, to be honest, if he was, stayed fit for his career.
Yeah.
But I like Welbs a lot. I think he's a great player. Sometimes you wonder about his finishing abilities, but I think overall as a striker, he gives everything you really want. I think even goals-wise, he's good in the air. He's pretty strong. He holds the ball up well. He's quick as well. He's quick. He's got quite a bit of skill. I think he's decent.
I don't think any of our strikers currently at the club would have won that penalty. He did.
No,
so it's a quick free kick from. Obviously, we will talk about the game more now, but that quick free kick from Dunk was great, because Welbeck made that run in behind. Don't get me wrong, Mopé might have made that run, but he's not as quick as Welbeck and would have got ahead of Willy Body that easily. He won that penalty so well, and I don't know, some people were saying that it was just coming together, but he was clumsy from Bully for sure. That was a definite pen.
Oh, yeah.
And also, missing, we'll talk about the first pen actually. That was our third penalty miss in a row. And I think we've missed 10 penalties out of our last 30 in the Premier League or something like that.
Before McAllister scored the second.
How are we so bad in front, for penalties?
Yeah, 66% conversion rate, I believe. That's shocking.
It's so fucking bad.
Shocking. I mean, you'd expect that down the park with a few mates or something, but 66% conversion rate from Premier League footballers is poor. But then again, right, we're talking about Danny Welbeck. When was the last time he took a penalty? I mean, McAllister, I thought would be the guy. Right? I thought he was the guy to take him. Clearly not. I mean, his second goal. It takes a lot of yourself to come up and take that penalty again. I'll give credit to McAllister for that, and I thought he had a really, really good game as well. And I like McAllister. But that first penalty was maybe he tried to hit it too perfectly, almost. Really tried to go for that bottom corner and ended up hitting the post. I mean,
that was unfortunate.
Trying to be too smart and go for the corner, and you should have just blasted down the middle or something. I don't know. It's easy to say in hindsight, isn't it, with penalties?
But I think Trossard is also really good. I feel like I think he was pretty sure he was very close to getting that penalty if it had not hit the post. I think he might have saved it still, despite it being that proper bottom corner. But sorry, whilst you were talking, I was looking at Welbeck penalties, and it made me wonder. He doesn't really take penalties.
No.
When he did, he missed it against West Brom. Do you remember that?
I remember that one.
Was that? Yeah, and then he was offside because you can't hit the follow up. Oh no, you can. What was it?
You can't hit the follow up if no one else gets to it first. You can't hit the ball again.
Yeah. I think that was it, and he done that, didn't he? And then it was given as a foul. We were like, what was going on? West Brom. But so he doesn't look like a penalty taker. And then people were saying that Lewis Dunk should take penalties.
Yes,
because every time he's taken one, he just
Millwall game,
drills it.
They're like, I think he had a decent penalty against Millwall. I think he scored one against Newport as well. So I mean, I wouldn't be against it. He can obviously hit a ball, but then again, it's the bottle, isn't it?
He's no Sergio Ramos when it comes to penalties, is he? Let's be honest. No, he's the centre back king of penalties.
Yeah, it really is. But then again, I don't know. It's not like we really have much to lose in the penalties front because, as I say, credit to McAllister for taking that second one because it takes a lot to come out and say, do you know what? Because I can imagine the amount of stick he got from
same side, by the way. The balls are that same side.
To be fair, Sarr got a big hand on that, and he'll be
so
thinking
close.
he could have saved that. But I think it just had too much power on it. It took it past him. McAllister. I'll talk about McAllister as well because midfield-wise, I put a tweet on saying I think this is genuinely the best Brighton midfield possibly in our history. I mean, they have the potential to all go on and be future legends. I mean, what do you make of McAllister? Because I think he gets a lot out of Caicedo as well. Bissouma complements both of them. I thought, to be fair, again, Gross was decent when he come on. I don't see this
Yeah.
Gross thing. I would give Gross a new deal because he's out of contract in the summer. But midfield,
Yeah, same, mate. I do not understand the slander. Okay, he's slow. It's not FIFA. I know used to talk about FIFA a lot. It's not FIFA. This is a real game of football, and pace doesn't always matter. I know that when he gets put through on goal, very rarely, he's never going to beat the defender, but that's not his job. His job? That's not his job. His job is to assist and create chances, and that's what he does so fucking well. And so the fact that people were saying that he shouldn't be given a new contract is ludicrous.
Yeah, I mean, he's still our biggest chance creator this season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He still tops the tables in pretty much every
the other 14, whenever they do a post, there's Pascal Gross on the top for the chances creation.
So I don't get it. And you can see he's got the class. Like how we just spoke about Welbeck, you can see the quality. You can see that in Gross as well. The way his little touches as well, his Cruyff turns are always so perfectly timed. I don't know if he'll get a new contract, if I'm being honest. There's nothing for
I think you said last week that he might. You reckon he might want to go back to Germany or something like that, didn't you?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not inside.
Link up with Locadia at Bochum or wherever he's playing at. Yeah. Who scored an unbelievable goal, by the way. Jesus Christ! Why can you do that at Brighton?
Yeah, I know. That would have been great. A mad goal. Plus, against Dortmund, like it's not like he was against some bums. Like he was actually against Dortmund.
Some bums.
But that's when you know the world's coming to an end, doesn't it? When Brighton win 3-0 away and Jurgen Locadia scores against Dortmund.
Yeah, we've just somehow gone into some weird parallel universe.
Yeah,
we just dropped in it.
Yeah, it really is.
But sorry, on McAllister, he's finally getting that consistent game time, and it's really benefiting him. Because he would get introduced for a bit, and then I think more like to be last season, he would get introduced a bit, and then he would get taken off, and you wouldn't see him maybe for a couple of games. But he's starting every game now, and he's so good, and he can play deeper as well. That's the best thing. He's not just like a centre attack midfielder or can play behind the striker on the wing.
I mean, he covered Bissouma for a large portion, didn't he? When Bissouma had all of it going.
Yeah,
he covered that quite well. I mean, I was quite impressed with how he did it. And to be fair, sounds bad, but you see like a South American sort of flair player come over, you don't expect him to put in the hard challenges like he does.
Yeah,
he just chases everything. He's got so much energy, and he sort of he really is up for it. And actually, I was going to mention this at the end of the podcast, but I might as well just do it now. I put McAllister in my top 3 players of the season, and it's going to sound kind of mad because obviously I think Leandro Trossard probably deserves it on the base of the whole season in quality wise, but the only reason I put McAllister there is I just think because he's had to cover so many duties in one season, and he's pretty new to the squad. He's not like, before this he hadn't really had much time at Brighton, hadn't really played in front of a crowd even with Brighton. He's very new to the English game. To have a season like he has, where he's been in and out, the midfield's been changing pretty much every week. He's adapted very well, and I think that the way he's sort of handled it gives me a reason to put him in a player of the season spot. I don't think he's the top 2. I think the top 2 are probably more obvious. But I think that third spot,
I don't know,
between Trossard and McAllister is pretty open.
Let's do that though. Actually, let's pick our top 3. Then we could obviously ask Mass when he's back from Morocco.
I've got mine here. I did them on the Albion Raw podcast. I put McAllister in there, and then everyone else said Trossard, which is probably more likely. Like I get that. I'm not against Trossard. Before everyone's like, "Oh, you're digging out Trossard." No, I like him. I'm just doing it on the basis that McAllister's probably had to do more than Trossard. But don't get me wrong, Trossard's probably added more to his game this season, if you know what I mean, as well. He's dropped deeper and he's good at that. Anyway, top 2, I've gone with 2 for Veltman. Now, a lot of people are debating he gets number 1. But for me, it's just his. I don't know. I think he's good. I think he offers a lot, but I don't think he offers much more than what he does. Whereas my number 1 being Cucurella, I think he's just been
Rolls Royce
different gravy to me. I don't know. I just think he's been
so good.
Yeah, like Veltman, don't get wrong, he hasn't really had a bad game. But Cucurella doesn't have a bad game, and he offers a lot more than probably.
He's played in every Premier League game for us, and he's never. I mean, I don't know his SOFA score, whatever it is called, but I'd be surprised if it's dropped under a 7 in all of those games. Maybe it dropped under 7. That's been a bit too mad because we've had some pretty shocking games. But I'll be surprised if he's dropped a low score. He's been so consistent. And against Wolves, that was his best game by far. I think by far he was up and down that wing, killing it.
Of the season for me. But anyway, Ben, your top 3.
It's tough because we can't ignore what Neil Maupay done and has done this season. Yes. I know obviously he's been out of the team recently. He played against Southampton. Didn't really. Oh yeah, he had a good first half. And then missed a penalty against Norwich before that as well, unfortunately for him. I don't know if he gets in the top 3 despite what he'd done for us. And it's weird. This is probably the first time we.
He's
What's that?
provided the best memories.
Yeah, he has, for sure. Yeah, and a lot of bruises falling downstairs at exactly. For that. A lot of bruises. But yeah, he doesn't get in the top 3, unfortunately. I don't think. Or maybe he does. I haven't, because obviously you've done yours recently. I'm still trying to work out as I'm talking. But it's weird that Lewis Dunk isn't in it. He's not in the conversation, probably for the first time in his Brighton career.
Otherwise he would be. It's just injuries. He had that injury in you for a few months. I mean,
it's a nice change though, isn't it? Because every single season is like Lewis Dunk's best player, Lewis Dunk player of the season, or fan player of the season, plays player.
And Dunk for the past year. And yeah, it's quite well. To be fair, we had Murray, I think, as well. Ben White somehow got it, even though it's Dunk last.
Oh, that's because the Leeds fans voted, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pascal Gross got first year Premier League.
That's deserved.
Which was deserved. Duffy got second. Third would have been under Potter, so that would have been Dunk probably. I don't remember.
But let's go back. Okay, actually, you know what? Because of the memories, I'm going to put Neil Maupay third, and then yes, Veltman's been really good.
Based then, Ben? Is this not quality based? Is this emotion based? Because
he's dipped out of form, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's dipped out of form, and I think a lot of our players have during the season, apart from our number 1 that we both agreed on, which is Cucurella. And then maybe, unfortunately, I get Veltman's been really, really good, an absolute bargain. Him and Gross are bargains in the Premier League, for sure. Who would be second? Am I being too biased on recent form if I say Trossard's second?
No, because Trossard had a really good beginning of the season as well.
He did, yeah. Brentford away. Oh, really yeah, Brentford away. Another leg goal.
He was undoubtedly top until about Christmas. And then he sort of went down a little bit, and now he's back up to probably where he was at the beginning of the season. What's really good taking me about Trossard is his ability to go into more than one position. Whereas before he was more of an out-and-out left winger / attacking midfielder. He now sort of goes between that striker, left winger, left wing back. He can even drop deep in midfield as well now. He's got a bit of skill and he's got great pass on him. He's added a lot to his game. So to not include him from me is really harsh. I mean, I think he probably deserves it over McAllister. But yeah, I'm still sticking with McAllister.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to put Trossard second and then, Mark Cucurella first. Yeah. Best signing. I don't know. Maupay third for the memories and bruises, for sure. Love you, Neil. Just get back to form, mate. Just get some confidence in you, please. We will need you. And how confident are you that Moises Caicedo will be in our top 3 next season?
Mate,
if he carries on, he could be first.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we're basing it off potential based on this season, if you imagine it like a graph of these players, right, and their sort of projections as to how they're going to go in the next year, if you're going to put your stocks in, I mean, you've got to have probably Trossard. What
was the app where you could buy stocks in footballers? Was it called Football Index or something like that? And then it got hacked, or they robbed everyone's money, didn't they?
Yeah. So you've got Caicedo. He's only doing this. McAllister's only really doing this. I think them two are going to be in and around that top 3 next season, without a doubt, if they continue their progression.
Sorry, going back to it, I bought stocks in Aaron Connolly when it first came out. Yeah. Oh man.
Have you seen? He's really not doing very well at Borough at the minute, is he?
No, he's doing balloons, isn't he, at Borough? That's what he. Yeah. Well, actually, I should say allegedly, even though we saw a video. Oh no, he didn't. He wasn't holding a balloon. Maybe it was someone at the kid's birthday party, and the girl was just holding a McDonald's balloon or something like that. Yeah. Maybe it didn't have any naughty stuff in it. All alleged. Allegedly, I can talk to say. That's going to be my new word, I think, going forward, because I need to every time I spill absolute waffle, I need to say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Should we say allegedly for everything?
Allegedly, yeah.
So allegedly, yeah.
But basically, what I'm saying is I think his stock was ended up being worth 5p in the end or something. I don't even know. It wasn't good. I had so much faith, and then when it went up when he scored against Spurs, don't get me wrong. But, So yeah, that is my top 3, just to confirm, because I went all over the place.
Go on.
What did I say? I said Neil Maupay third for the memories and the goals, brilliant goals. Trossard second. I'm so glad that he's actually found some consistency now, which is something he lacked. Because he would always have these purple patches, didn't he? But now he's being very consistent, which is good. And then the GOAT, Mark Cucurella, top of the table, because he is unbelievable. One of the best purchases in the Premier League. out of all the teams, in my opinion.
Do you know what? I think I am going to change. Because I think it's unfair to leave Trossard out. I'm just thinking about it now. He's literally been so improved this season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Really, he's changed a lot from the Trossard that probably signed. So
We
yeah,
rely on him a lot. I notice he's like is it the word pinnacle to our attack a lot of the time?
Yeah,
He's always the one driving the ball forward and creating stuff. And he is a very, very good player.
For the first time in absolutely years, an attacking player is going to be in my player of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we were going through the previous players of the years, it's always the defender or something like that, because that's the only kind of good thing we can talk about. But yeah, we actually have some decent attackers now that create chances, and it's beautiful. What was I going to say? That's annoyed me.
What was it about? Was it about players of the season? This is the fun of podcast, isn't it? When you forget what you're going to say. Okay, well, I'll move on a bit.
We've done well so far, to be fair. What was I going to say? I don't know.
For the viewers listening and watching, right, we're doing this without a Google Doc for the first time in a long time. So normally we have a little Google Doc here to help us out if we ever forget what we're going to say. Now we're doing it without it. I think we did the last one without it as well. Ben's obviously forgotten because
we're all over the place.
But no, let's move on
bars.
a bit.
Don't smoke health bars. My throat's absolutely caned.
I don't know what they are, Ben. But no, let's move on a little bit. Let's go from midfield. I want to talk about defence a little bit as well, because Lewis Dunk, some chests, some quality. I think Lewis Dunk's back to his best. I don't think it's unfair to say. It's nice to see him back to his best, to be honest, because he's had a bit of a rough season, and that's why we just mentioned that he hasn't really been in the players of the season candidates. I feel like he had a bit of a rough season to begin with as well. He didn't start that well, and everyone was saying, Lewis Dunk doesn't look so Lewis Dunk at the minute. Then he got injured, had a few months out. Dunk's back now. And I think he's back to his best. Ben, do you think that's
fair? Close to it. I don't know if he's back to his best yet, but he's definitely close. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely close. I think maybe a couple more games of just being solid. I know it was like another clean sheet, and that's great. So we're getting back on track in terms of how good we were defensively. He's nearly there. I wouldn't say he's back to his best yet. He's definitely nearly there. Again, his chest, unbelievable. People will say you can land a jumbo jet on his chest. He's so good. And what I loved more than anything, and I hope Gareth Southgate was watching, is that the levels between Lewis Dunk and Connor Cody. Yes, it was just one game, but how are you picking Connor? Is he just picking him because he's a great character to have in the dressing room and he's a nice lad?
It's just a bit of a.
I don't hate Connor Cody, by the way. I like him. I think he's a lovely guy, but how can you pick if you're doing it over form and ability, like Gareth Southgate said he would right when he was appointed manager of England? He said he'll do it all on form. He hasn't done that. He's gone back on his word, and he's just picking players that he likes.
I mean, if we put it, we sort of put it down here. Connor Cody, is he just in that sort of club of the bigger? He in the favoritised leagues? I don't know. Lewis Dunk's never going to be in that, is he? He's a Brighton player. Yeah. He's never going to be in the conversations with, your sort of Aston Villas and your Wolves and even your Palaces, to be honest. They get sort of in the conversation a bit easier. At Brighton, it's a bit like the guy who's, imagine someone in a big hall, right, or in a big club trying to get in the conversation. He's just ain't got a chance. This is a bit like what
I don't have a little brother, but it's like with a little brother that's like wanting to play, just constantly. It's like, look, pick me, look at me, look what I'm doing.
Many games on your phone, sort of thing. That's a bit like what Brighton are.
Yeah, let me go on the iPad for fucking 4 hours in a restaurant whilst I'm not chatting to my parents.
Yeah, have you got Mario Kart? Like that's literally what Lewis Dunk really is, isn't it? Like he's just asking Gareth Southgate, he's got Mario Kart. Because to be honest, I mean, you've got like Mings, Cody. I don't know what they do apart from the fact that they play for bigger clubs than us.
Well, Mings is left-footed, and that's about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit of a clutch now, isn't it? People are sort of saying, he's left-footed now, just to save any sort of grace on it. I mean, even Villa fans say they don't understand how he's...
Yeah, they actually do, which is saying something.
Yeah, and I think, if anyone anyway, we'll talk about England later, but yeah, I don't think that, probably based on this season, Lewis Dunk is ready for England.
No, for sure, no.
I think that, if you're going to compare him directly to Connor Cody or Tyrone Mings, he's clear of both of them, isn't he? Let's be real.
Oh, definitely. It's weird. I remember what I was going to say, sorry. So I was going to say, because we were talking about Trossard, do you remember a few weeks ago, he was like, I'm willing to listen to offers from other clubs?
Yes. And
that would be a grand shame if he...
I heard something, I don't know how real it is or true it is. I got sent a text, and I don't know what the... How do I explain this? How legit it is. So I'm going to say allegedly, right? And allegedly, I got sent this message... And it allegedly says that Trossard could be on his way this summer because his contract's out Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm obviously not in the know. I'm just saying what I've been sent over my phone. I mean, if it happens, would you be mad to see Trossard go the year left? Would he want to extend his contract? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it probably tight. I wouldn't blame him for going. I'll be so upset if he does, because I remember we were saying it's like the pinnacle of our attacks most of the time. I would be really upset if he did leave, but I wouldn't actually be surprised. I feel like I've seen a lot of other fans say that he's a good player, which means something, that he must be getting recognised finally. I reckon he's good enough to play in like a top 8 team. Are we the top 8 team? Because I don't know if we are top 8. Maybe in form currently. Away from home, we're fucking top 4, aren't we? Which is nuts. Yeah. And then at home, 18th or something like that. Yeah. We need to sort out home form so much. That is
really badly. We can get onto that in a bit. But
yeah, we would be top 8 if we sorted out home form. Easy.
Should he go? I can see why. I mean, the message that sent, it isn't a massive sort of shocker, like, oh my god, because the following season he had a season, and how much would you take for Trossard? I mean, 20-30 million. I can't see us getting much more than that. And he's only got a year left on his contract.
Yeah, the contract will play a big part in it. Actually, you're saying if he had like 2 years or 3 years left, you'd like to think maybe it's undershooting it a bit, but 25 mil being realistic. I know some Brighton fans say he's worth 40 mil, 35 mil, but let's get our actual proper hats on, and compare it to other players that have gone for that sort of money. You'd probably think, 20, 25 mil. Looking at, we got Cucurella for like 15.5 mil.
Yeah,
which is again a bargain. That's just a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, Trossard's sort of peaking as well. He's getting towards the point where he's in the
hitting his prime. Hitting his prime.
I don't know how far. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I really like him, but I don't think he's going to be making top 3, top 4, top 5.
No
Premier League sides.
Or maybe even abroad, like a Leipzig. I know this is like really, really thrown out there, but a Leipzig maybe. Is he ready for that? I don't know.
But then why would you want to leave England to Germany when
the Bundesliga, Champions League football? Would you not?
Potentially. But anyway, we're just speculating here. We are massively
linking him with clubs that have no absolute.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you're listening to this, don't take anything we say seriously because we ain't got a clue.
And also thank you for listening this far.
Thank you for listening this far. Okay, let's move on to the last part of the game. Then obviously we won 3-0. We spoke about the first goal. Trossard scored the second. Bissouma scored the third. I want to talk about the third one. Bissouma
and the lack of celebration. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, and seemed to sort of push everyone off. And obviously I don't want to speculate, so I'm going to say allegedly. What's going on with Bissouma? Why didn't he celebrate? Was he just respectful to Wolves? Probably not. Was he? I don't know.
Is that more? Is that him being like too cool? Was that him like kind of? Is that him disrespecting them because he's like, yeah, that was fucking easy, or was he like surprised that it went in because it wasn't exactly a really powerful shot? It was just well placed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if. Yeah, it is a strange one. I'd like to think that he was just doing it like to be in like a cocky way. It's like, don't need to celebrate 3-0. This is a walk in the park. Even Solly March was laughing at the bloody Wolves team, wasn't he? That was funny. He was like turning around to the Brighton fans and started laughing.
I could be wrong. I mean, I was there. I couldn't tell you though. I'm pretty sure he didn't come up to the fans game either. Bissouma.
Oh really?
So he didn't celebrate. Didn't really hug any of the players. Seemed to push everyone off as well, and didn't come up to the fans after the game. Even though he just scored in a 3-0 win, which is probably the best win we've had in the Premier League in a very long time.
Is he jealous? Is he jealous of Caicedo? That's thrown out there because he's getting all the love now.
That's a Love Island sort of speculation on Brighton.
Yeah, that is allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I just don't think it's right. Something ain't right there. Is it really? I don't think that, if you've got a player that's arguably one of the best players in the club history, scoring goals away from home with all the fans loving it, why wouldn't you just come and celebrate? I mean, this is the Bissouma that used to dance with the Brighton fans and say that his chant gave him energy and made him play better on the pitch and said he can't love our fans any more than he has done. And now all of a sudden he doesn't want to celebrate and he doesn't come over to the fans after the game. What's changed?
Is it? Or maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I think it's only the first time he's ever done it. Late in the game, they just made it 3-0. Maybe that's why. Maybe he was just like, yeah, cool. Easy one. Which is maybe because we don't score 3 goals, so we've never seen our players celebrate. Well, really. So we've never really seen players celebrate when it's 3-0. you don't go mental, do you? Really, when you watch City,
No.
I know against Leeds, but that's because there's kind of got that Manchester Leeds type rivalry. But when you watch City, the big teams score fourth, they don't like go mental. Maybe I'm chatting out my arse, but most of the time they're just like kind of walk and they like high five and shit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. But that again, that's just me really trying to back up Bissouma and say that he still loves us.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a bit of a strange one to me. I mean, I would want the players to come and celebrate. I mean, actually, talking about celebrations as well, Graham Potter come up to the fans after the game, and he was doing this, and what a guy! What an absolute!
He loves the away fans, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Hates us at home, but loves the away fans.
This is the thing. This is what I wanted to talk about because obviously our home form's so bad, and obviously it's a constant loop.
18th out in the league. It's so
really bad. So it's the constant loop between fans, club, manager, players. Fans, club, manager, players. You know, everyone feeds off each other. You've got that constant cycle at Brighton at home. You know, if you're watching Brighton at home this season, you hadn't been to any away games, you'd say, my God, it's been probably one of the worst seasons.
Dire, yeah.
If you've been to all the away games, or at least a lot of them, and all the home games, but maybe you didn't go to all the home games, you'd be saying it's been one of the best seasons you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a really weird contrast. Now, with Graham Potter, it's similar. Very weird contrast of, you know, we play at home. He doesn't really do much, really. He doesn't come up to the North Stand and sort of go like that and like that. You don't see that at all. But at away, he comes up to us and he loves it. Absolutely loves it. And people were saying on Twitter, on my Twitter anyway, saying that, you know, is he picking favourites of the diehards and, you know, not really giving credit to the ones that just want to go to away games, which, by the way, is fine. You know, you don't have to go to away games to be a football fan. I don't know. I just think it's a bit... I can see the grey area if you don't go to away games and thinking, you know, does Graham Potter only care about them, Ben? What do you think?
Yeah. No, that's a good point, to be fair. And I think away games always seem to like they probably mean a bit more, maybe, because they're harder to do. And you can definitely tell that he's been enjoying his time on the road more. I think Wolverhampton's, I don't know, he wasn't born there, but it's like a kind of his local area.
Yeah, he's like Birmingham way, isn't he?
I think it was a big one because he was, allegedly, he was bigging up Bruno Lage a lot before the game.
Bruno Lage.
So it was a very, very big win for him. So obviously that kind of is probably why he celebrated so much. But yeah, I don't know. It's surely maybe he is a bit disappointed in the home form and like the home atmosphere, like you would be, like most fans are. Maybe there's a bit of that, but you'd like to think he has the power to be able to generate an atmosphere. So like you see managers like turn around, don't they? And they like give their hands up, wave their hands at the fans to be like, come on, let's get something going. And it gets the crowd going. But he's very cool, calm and collected at home. He doesn't really show a lot of passion at home. Maybe because there's nothing to be passionate about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know.
I look at it actually as a bad thing, really. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing on Potter specifically, but it feels like a bad thing for Potter and fans alike, really. It does feel a bit disconnected at home, because when you go away, I've been to a lot of away games this season. I've done 9 by the end of the season, which is pretty solid. And on all the times I've been, you know, you see the fans, you see the players, you see the manager loving it. I mean, every single time, pretty much. Even if you lose, at least they come over and sort of give it that. And I get that we're away, we've travelled further, so it makes more sense. But technically, I hadn't really travelled further. But I don't really know. It just feels a bit wrong to me. Like, you know. Yeah,
that is backwards. There's more connection with the team when we're playing away than when we're playing at home. Yeah, which is strange. It feels like, but I guess that is maybe down to form. Can only point the finger at that, isn't it? Because our away form is so good.
So how does that
players
change,
must enjoy it.
Get to a point where, you know, because I know people, right, that went to that game last time. Who was it? Southampton at home. Who went just because they wanted to build up ticket points for the Man United game because they're Man United fans.
Jesus.
I also know people that said that they went there for the first time in a while and said that there was a lot of tourists behind them taking photos. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're in Brighton and there's tickets going, I would do it as well if I was in a foreign city. I'd go to a local game if there was tickets going.
Yeah.
But if you're a home Brighton fan, does it not frustrate you? Yes. Does it? Do you point fingers at fans? Possibly. Do you point fingers at manager? Probably. Do you point fingers at club? Yes.
That's probably what it'd be down to. But how do they manage it? Maybe there must be a way to manage who gets tickets, and maybe if I get appointed fan advisor, that would be a great thing that I could do.
Yes, that's
but yeah, I don't know.
Jack as well. Jack's running as well. How does that work?
That's great. So Jack, so there are 3 categories. You've got 1901, My Albion Plus, and season ticket. on my album plus, you can vote for me and Jack, both, to be honest. I think they get 3 candidates, so 1 from each maybe.
Right.
Might be talking at my ass, but yeah. So you can actually vote for me and Jack, which would be
I
great.
assume Jack's on season ticket then.
Yeah, Jack's season ticket. Yeah.
Makes sense. So Jack needs to get that then, doesn't he? Really? I mean, Jack.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He goes to every single game. If he doesn't get that, that's ridiculous because he genuinely like. I've never seen such a die-hard Brighton fan in my life.
He spends more time in a football stadium than he does in his own house. He genuinely does.
That's not even a joke. Like he literally does. He was meant
to be on this episode with us, but he's in Oxford since in Friends. He's actually not at a football match, which is quite strange. Although saying that, he's probably gone to like a Bank Holiday Monday match in Oxford United, probably playing in the Football League.
He probably is. We joke, but he probably is. You'll probably see on his Twitter later on. But yeah, anyway, I think that's about it really. Vote for Ben and Jack, obviously. Shout out the boys and girls that came up to us, or came up to me anyway for this time.
Before we do Man United preview quickly, I would like to make a point, and I'm sorry that I haven't remembered who tweeted this, but they said, and I want to ingrain this in people's heads, we got to really appreciate what's going on at the moment, because in a few years we might look back on this and be like, that was the best time you've ever had in the Premier League. So for the remaining 3 games, I know it's not the end of the episode yet, but just enjoy them. Just as Ray Ferdinand says, just enjoy them and really, really take it in if you can.
And bring some noise to the Amex, you know. I mean, we speak about, as I say, away fans, home fans. I spoke about Graham Potter. The chants away from home are a lot better. The Everywhere We Go chant, I think, is brilliant. Now, that is genuinely one of the best new songs we've had in a while. I mean, they did it at Arsenal, they now done the game. They did it a bit at Southampton, but it didn't really catch on too much. But I do like it a lot.
It's a good job.
I don't know where it ends. I want there to be more atmosphere at the Amex, as everyone does, whether it's to do with the club, but just even if you just go into this game against Manchester United, we get it. You know, we're going to play against one of the biggest teams in the league. Let's bring some noise. Let's make it feel like, you know, that Man United game first season, because that was like that noise in that ground was unbelievable. Like one of the best. Electric from start to finish. Did the Copper 90 video? You know, if you remember, you remember.
Oh, did you know?
But like, just please, just make it. Even if you're just going, you can have your, you know, problems with the club, the problems with the players, problems with manager, whatever you want, whatever your issue is. But if you're at the game, have a drink, have a pie, sing a bit, and hope the boys bring home and win. Because I tell you what, you're right. It is one of the best moments of the club. Well, it is the best moment in the club's history. We are on course to finish the best moment.
Finally got 10 wins in the Prem.
Finally 10 wins in the Premier League. Trossard's having his best year. We've got 44 points now. Everything's rosy. So for bringing on to this Man United game, bring some noise. More importantly, Ben, who's going to bring the goals?
Who's going to bring? I reckon Trossard might get another goal. That would be good. Maybe even Welbeck. I think Welbeck definitely deserves a goal for the games, the performances he's been putting in. Here's a tweet from Naylor, which is class. So it goes, Man United next at home. That's an informed team and a well-run club against an out-of-form team and a shambles. Who would have thought? And isn't that crazy?
Rolling.
Yeah, mate. It is mad though. I said this to my brother, who's a United fan. He was like, "Yeah, how the tables have turned. We're a really well-run club in great form, and Manchester United are pony at the moment. But we played them when they were out of form, didn't we, at Old Trafford, and they ended up beating us. So they're not a write-off, of course, because they've got the players that they got. They got Ronaldo, who at 37 years old still bangs goals for fun. And Ronaldo at the Amex, mate. That's just a sentence in itself.
That's mad.
Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be playing at the American Express Community Stadium at Falmer.
Yeah, see, I don't like
in Falmer. Cristiano Ronaldo. If you deep it, mad. I don't know.
Cristiano Ronaldo, silly. But the thing is, I don't normally look at other players, right? I normally am like, you know what? I don't really care. Novelty of the Premier League is whatever to me, because I hate that whole thing of, you know, go to the game to look at the rival players. But when it's Ronaldo, it's a bit like, you know, this is the greatest of all time right here. I mean, you could talk about Messi. This isn't a Messi debate, Ronaldo debate. I'm just saying, this is the greatest of all time at the Amex in Brighton. It is mad to see. But for my sake,
it's going to be on TV, and I'm concerned that if he gets a penalty or something like that, and it's maybe not the north stand, but if he runs to the corner of the west or the east, if he scores, it's so I don't know what the word is. My brain's gone absolutely fried. What's the word? I don't know. But if he does score a penalty, I can't tell you what to do, but please don't film it, because I don't want to be that club that have everyone filming it and like smiling whilst you're filming Ronaldo who's just scored a penalty against us or something like that. Please don't do it.
Let me put some
Please
things out
don't.
there, right? There's just some little life tips, right? Life advice. Maybe you're a new Brighton fan. Maybe you're a fan that hasn't really been to games in your lifetime. Maybe you're a fan that's never seen a big club play. Let me just tell you this. Don't film games, or like film rival goals, should I say. You can film other things. I can't really speak a lot because I did stuff with the club, so that's holy irony right there. But don't buy half and half scarves, and please, for God's sake, don't wear a Ronaldo shirt, because I will cry.
In the home end.
Yeah, at least like if you're gonna do it, at least go in the away. But please just don't, because I can just see the memes like everywhere saying about Brighton being a plastic club if someone's got a Ronaldo 7 shirt in the Brighton end, because I'm gonna cry. You'll see me in tears in the next podcast if that happens, because
you're saying if they're holding up a sign?
Anything.
Yeah, no, yeah. And also, if you're sat in the family stand or something, please. And again, we can't tell people what to do, but please don't bring any sign. I want your shirt, Ronaldo, and you're sat in the home end. Please don't. See, my brother's going to the game, and he was like, I could sit in the home end, but obviously that's a really peak thing to do. But it's actually difficult to get a United away ticket, because obviously they've got a shitload of fans. So, and all of their tickets, a lot of them just like go on resale on the black market. So I think my brother was like quoted like £100 for a ticket.
Jesus. I mean, I don't know.
A lot of money to follow that football club.
Whatever your circumstance is, right, as a football fan, please just don't do that, because we don't want to see it. Like, I'm not telling you what to do, but we sort of are.
Don't.
But yeah, just don't, because it just brings our reputation down every time. And then we're gonna have the Salah thing or the Hazard thing, and it's just everything.
We've got an awful home rep as it is, and we can't have it in the dumps. We're 18th in the league. We can't be 20th in the home form and reputation. Please no. But should we actually talk about real football rather than the fans? Let's talk about the people on the pitch.
Let's move on. Finish the podcast though. Score predictions, Ben. What's going to happen?
Oh mate. I'm just thinking 5:30 game. We've been in form. Home form's poor. But United are poor as well.
Dunk CR7.
I don't even know.
And it's going to be
against CR7 at the Amex, and it's going to be 2-2. No, actually, it's not that. Man United won't score 2 goals. If I could really eat my words. I reckon it'll be.
Or 2 goals.
I don't, because we're doing quite well defensively, aren't we, at the moment? I know they're a completely different kettle of fish. 2-1 Brighton, maybe. And I think Welbeck and Trossard to score.
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo, obviously, for Man United, because no one else scores for him.
This is a stat for you. Welbeck, his favourite club to play against, I'm pretty sure, is Manchester United. He's the only player to play against United and score as many times as he has, or something like that. He is prolific against his old club.
Oh, cool.
And seems to
that's right. I remember hearing that
as well. He scored against him at the Old Trafford a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. I'm going to agree and say Welbeck's going to score, but I'm going to say 1-0. And I'm going to just hope somehow that Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho, etc. don't score. And I'm going to say 1-0 Brighton.
It's usually a tasty affair against United, isn't it? I'm just thinking back at a lot of the games. There hasn't really ever been...
It's a weird little rivalry.
There's never been... Yeah, there is a bit of a rivalry between the fans. There's normally quite a few goals in the games, actually.
Yeah,
so it's an exciting one for the neutral, but for us,
it never goes that form weirdly with Brighton and United. It always seems
it's like a cup final. I hate to say it, but it is like a one-off match. Yeah, form goes out the window.
You are right. Equally with Arsenal, to be fair, it seems to be us, Man United and Arsenal. We just seem to have some sort of weird back and forth with them that never really seems to end. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it'll be a high-scoring game, but I still think it's going to be 1-0, and we're just going to have one of them good games, and Ronaldo's going to have a nightmare. They're going to keep kicking it out. That sort of game.
Create a lot of chances, hopefully. If we can play how we can play, and United play how they can play poorly.
Caicedo and McAllister, mate. That's all we need.
Can boss that midfield. They can run McTominay ragged. On their day, we can actually beat them.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at it like properly. Their midfield is beatable with our midfield, without a doubt. We have
a really out of form Fernandes. They've got McTominay, who tries hard, passionate, and that's probably where it ends.
He'll probably wind me up at some point.
Fred's actually half decent, but I don't think he plays. Matic is okay, but he's really old and slow. Our midfield is better than them.
Yeah,
at the moment,
a lot better than ours. Our defense is arguably better than theirs. I mean, Maguire.
Yeah, no, it's strange, but yeah.
Yeah,
Sanchez versus De Gea, Spanish little derby, that would be quite good.
De Gea in the Spanish squad. With defence, I mean, I'd rather have Webster and Dunk over Maguire and Lindelof, from being honest with you. I mean, Luke Shaw is good for England. Whether I'd have him over Mark Cucurella at Brighton, probably not.
On Webster, though, sorry, before I forget, I don't know if I would start him. He again looked a little bit shaky, didn't he?
Yeah, good point.
He did. I mean, I would be inclined to play that same team. I know Potter doesn't really play the same team, but that Wolves team was really, really good. So it just works so well. Even Solly March had a really, really good game because he gets slated, and I love Solly. But
I actually thought Solly was probably one of our weak links. If I'm
really?
Just on the basis that he didn't really. I mean, look, we got the difference in quality is very big here, and Solly is a worker, but when you've got on the other side Cucurella and Trossard, I mean, it is a bit of a difference in quality. I mean, Trossard and Cucurella were just overlapping each other the whole game, always coming into the box sort of thing. Whereas March didn't really do that, and I know he's not as good as them. So on the pitch, he's nowhere near the quality of Cucurella, but he didn't really give that. Whereas as soon as Lamptey come on, it was a bit more exciting, a bit more dynamic. I thought, to be honest, actually, I would actually drop March and put Lamptey back in there, just on the basis. Yeah,
that's a good point, actually.
Taking some players on. I just thought probably if he was the weak link. I hate digging out players in a 3-0 win. I do understand it's a bit hard, but I probably would, if I was going to change it, drop March and put Lamptey back.
Well, yeah, you'd like to think Lamptey would cause them a lot more trouble. Alex Tellez, who I don't think's been really great for Man United. I think Shaw might be injured or out of form. Yeah, Shaw's injured in McDonald's allegedly. I'm not sure. Sorry, that was harsh. I do like Luke Shaw, especially for England.
Right.
But yeah, no, 2-1, and I think it might be a comfortable game. I really hope I don't come back and eat my words.
Let's hope so. Mate, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever happens. We're not expected to win on paper anyway, so we can predict a win. Who cares?
Enjoy it regardless. Sing your hearts out. I can't actually go to any more Brighton games for the rest of this season. I'm at a wedding. I'm at a wedding Saturday.
I'm going to all of it.
I'm not going Leeds away. I'm actually seeing that with a lot of the Brighton gang. That'll be quite fun.
I am going to Leeds away.
Oh yeah. Oh mate, that'd be so. I'm so jealous. I'd love to go to Ellen Road. If they don't get relegated.
We could. That'd be someday out.
That would be funny.
As long as I don't get beaten up for things I said on the previous podcasts. But no.
Sorry,
anyway.
and then West Ham at home last game of the season. I'm going to Littlehampton at Wembley.
Could be a dog fight. Oh yes.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good fun.
That should be good actually. But yeah, that could even be a dog fight for Europa Conference League on that day. Who knows?
Never know, mate. That would actually be so good.
In a parallel universe, Brighton beat all of these teams, and it is a dogfight against West Ham. But anyway, comments below, Ben.
Comments below. I don't know. I was about to say something about Jake Paul because Maz interviewed Jake Paul.
Yeah, I saw
that.
How
crazy is that?
That's a mad crossover.
Maz from Seagulls Social interviewed Jake Paul.
Yeah,
crazy.
Mad.
Maybe comment below. It's every day, bro. With that Mads flow.
Cringe though, isn't it?
It is cringe. Okay, yeah. Let me have a look. Let's see.
I feel like we've spoken about Caicedo too much, but I feel like we can't talk about him enough. I would put Caicedo in the comments again.
Again?
Surely
not again.
The Ecuadorian kid is balling in the Premier League, or Cucurella, if we're keeping it football-wise.
Yeah, Cucurella. My brain is gone, mate, at this point. We've done well to make it this far, to be fair. Just me and you. For the first time, by the way. It's worked quite well.
Yeah, nice.
What are we going to comment? What are we going to... I was going to say... I had something there and it just fucking went from me. This is probably the longest we've taken to figure out a comment below.
You know
people have probably switched off with this, but they're like, okay, they're not going to find out.
Trossard, football genius, or Belgian genius. Trossard, Belgian genius, because he's been balling.
Football genius. Football genius makes sense, yeah. Trossard, football genius.
Trossard, football genius. Yeah. Cool. I think that's everything then, Ben.
Cool.
Anything else to add, mate?
Happy 60th to my mum, of course, yeah.
Happy
Doesn't look a day over 60, or 59. Yeah, no, she looked great for age. Fair play to her.
Ben's mum. Missing you, Maz. And yeah, let's move on to outro, which I've not got to mess up. So thank you all for watching. Of course, keep streaming if you are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can now watch us on Spotify. Obviously, comment on
YouTube.
You can. And subscribe if you are new. And until next time, we'll see you later. And goodbye.
Peace.